all kidding aside here, that last video was played more for humor, but there are some valid points that I did bring up in that last video. Here's the thing about kidneys with hepatitis C in them. Now, admittedly, you will have some healthcare professionals that will be admittedly a little biased to that because they know that hep C can be cured. And they have seen, they have, a lot of them have been in school long enough where there was a time where hep C was incurable and there was nothing they could do about it, right? So now, through oral medication, they can get rid of hep C within 8 weeks. But that still doesn't take away from the concern of getting a kidney with hepatitis C in it. And then you now have hepatitis C, right? There's still a major concern there. And one question that you have to ask, and this is a question that the kidney transplant coordinator proposed to me, is that ask these people that are willing to give you a kidney with hepatitis C if this is something that their kids would do, they would want their kids to do. If this is something that their wife or their husband or their son or their daughter, their uncle or their nephew, niece, whatever, is that something that they would want to do? If that's something that they would want to subject themselves to themselves, are they willing to take a hepatitis C kidney? I'm not really sure what would happen if I were to do that, even if that was something that they could cure. You know, I'm not really sure. And at this point, I'm not desperate enough to take that risk. And the biggest question that you have to ask yourself with all of this is, these kidneys are high-risk kidneys, meaning that they come from people who may not necessarily have the cleanest lifestyles. So how healthy can a kidney be if you took that kidney from somebody that has, let's say, that has done meth or other hard drugs, heroin, whatever? You know, these are the kind of kidneys, from my understanding, from what I've been told, these are the kind of kidneys that these individuals come from. That, you know, and would you just be inheriting another problem in order to expedite the time to get a kidney so that way you won't have to be on the list, right? So it's, what do you do? You know, do you take the chance of getting a high-risk kidney, or do you just wait to get a kidney that you know for sure is healthy, that could possibly last you for like 15, 20 years? You know, and I think a lot of it comes down to desperation. And they wouldn't propose these options to you if they weren't viable. So I can understand both sides of their argument here. You know, and if you are someone who isn't doing very well on dialysis, like if you are someone who is really struggling with being on dialysis health-wise, you know, you're not taking the dialysis well. You know, you have a plethora of different other health issues, and you know, if you're at high risk of, you know, potentially expiring on dialysis. So they would give you one of these kidneys in order to be able to help you sooner. But as far as me, as far as I'm concerned, I am doing very well on dialysis, and I'm saying that with no sense of pride, because I am not proud. It's not something to be proud of. I'm not proud of that fact. You know, this is just something that I do. It's not something that I'm proud to say that, you know, I'm accomplishing. But I'm doing very well on dialysis. I take the dialysis very well. So I wouldn't fall in that category. But someone who is older, maybe has a underlying condition that's making dialysis very difficult for them, they would be the types of people that you would want to gear having a hepatitis C kidney to help them. But for me, I am I wouldn't say that I'm in a good place, but I'm saying that I'm stable right now. So the idea of me having a hepatitis C kidney is one that I am not entertaining at the moment. Maybe when I get desperate enough, maybe, but right now, no. But as far as the facts that I have right now, those are the facts that I have right now about what that is, what that program is for. And like I said before in the last video, it is an avenue that a lot of kidney patients aren't exploring. But, you know, I would very much like to speak to someone that has had it done. I would very much like to speak to someone, that has had it done. You know, like, what is it about? You know, how long has the kidneys lasted? Like, how long has your kidney lasted? You know, what sort of, what do they do to get rid of it? How do they help you? You know, when I spoke to the coordinator, I also think that they mentioned that, you know, if they do give you a Hep C kidney, they give you an intravenous medication, and then they, you know, then they transfer over to oral medication. Once again, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing it anyway. So we'll see. I don't know. Still have to do more research on like what this whole thing entails and how this whole thing works. So when I know, you'll know.